Welcome to Part 11 of 18 in the B300 series Engine Rigging video series. References for power lever check procedures can be found in the B300 series maintenance manual, chapters 76-10-15-601. Perform an engine start as per the aircraft's pilot's operating handbook. Ground run the engine for approximately 5 minutes while monitoring all engine parameters to ensure stabilized operation. While observing N1 speed and all other engine parameters, slowly move the power levers from the idle position to full forward. Make sure that the power lever handles are within 1/8 of an inch of each other when both engines are at the same N1 speed. If the power lever handles do not match within this limit, adjustments to the power levers' positions should be carried out. With the engines shut down, position power levers to the idle position. Ensure that the power lever control cables in the control pedestal have been correctly rigged and that each bell crank hole aligns properly with its hole in the pedestal, and that they are identical left and right. Gain access to the engine controls. Check that the cam box rigging holes are properly aligned. Make sure that the interconnect rods are the same length and the rod ends are in the proper holes. The cam box input levers should be approximately horizontal. Measure the relative angles of both green arms on the left-hand and right-hand engine cam boxes in relation to each other. Advance the power levers to the full forward position and again measure the relative angles of the cam box input levers. The relative angles of the input levers in relation to each other should be nearly the same as the difference measured when the power levers were in the idle position. If the angular difference between the cam box input levers remained constant throughout the full travel of the power levers, then the power lever misalignment is minor. Check the position of the dead band. It may be necessary to widen the dead bands slightly in order to cover the full range between the idle and ground fine detents. Dead band positional differences can be achieved by adjusting the interconnect rod on each engine 1/2 of the amount required to realign the power levers. If the angular difference between the cam box input levers did not remain constant, recheck the rigging of the power lever bell cranks in the pedestal. It could be a possible indication of hysteresis causing a lag in the throttle control input due to a backlash in the pedestal control linkages or cables. On occasion, it may be found that when the throttles are retarded, one engine may not slow down at the same rate as the other. This can result in the power levers not matching correctly. On the end of the power lever cable at the engine, there is normally one spring attached to the cable. On the engine that is slow to respond, it is permissible to add a second spring if required. It may be noted that current production aircraft may use 1 or 2 springs as needed. Reference the applicable IPC for the appropriate part number. If all rigging is correct and the power levers are misaligned and the previous attempts to correct the power lever mismatch failed, this could indicate a fault in either the fuel control unit or the engine. If an inconsistent amount of power lever misalignment is present, for example, if the power levers are together at idle and maximum but mismatched in between, one fuel control unit may be suspect and should be tested or replaced. When attempting to match a new engine to an old one, it may be necessary to alter the adjustment of the cables in the control pedestal or to alter the engine-to-engine rigging of the cam boxes in order to match the power levers. Fuel flow rates and ITT may not match between engines of differing amounts of hours. For further information, please make sure to watch the next video in the B300 series Engine Rigging video series. For technical assistance, please contact Textron Aviation Team Turboprop Tech Support at 316-676-3140 or 1-800-429-5372. Team Turboprop can also be reached at kingair_support@txtav.com.